A new era begins for those who can read themselves in the mirror of life. It will be easier for the reader to meet the rhythm of life. What people see as elusive is actually missing the moment they live. It is not being born fully into the moment, just like closing your eyes at sunrise. When what is inside comes out, the inside will be empty for what awaits. As you want to fill the void, there will be no emptiness in your life, but the void inside will not be filled either. While all these experiences seem to be plentiful, while there is only one calming thing, those who are attached to the shape disappear into the plenitude because of what looks like a lot and takes shape as such. This is similar to setting a rendezvous with an insect in a forest. You can meet if the insect comes and finds you. So, the important thing is to be there, calmly waiting at the spot of your rendezvous with the one that you are supposed to meet, rather than looking for it in the plenitude. It is the call within you that will take you to that meeting, because only it can come and find you, not the other way around. While creation was shaped by a single speck, by the endless shapes of that speck that seemed to be one, a single way to meet in that plenitude was opened. When you realize for a moment what is vibrating inside you, you release the messenger to deliver you the news that you need in order to invite and meet the one that sent you the invitation. That's why living things don't walk to death. Death comes and finds them. It is very precious that the ones that want to be found and to meet be at themselves. Is it possible to meet for the ones who go away from themselves? This would be like trying to drive a car you are not in. Even though you have its key, you cannot move it if you are not in it. This is the key and the knowledge of life. Knowledge does not come into action when it cannot convey itself to you. Hearing the rhythm of this life is like hearing the breath of God. The rhythm of God, Allah, precedes form. Form is to come into being, whereas rhythm is the state before the chaos. The rhythm started before the chaos. It is the moment when the one that will come to be by oneself begins to hear its own rhythm. When form sets the outside free, when the light is free, diversity begins. With diversity, the rhythm becomes unheard from that point on. Now the magic has begun. What is this like? Could we know? It's like sitting in one place for a long time and waiting to be met with the thought you know is there. You actually know that thing? You think you can't know what it is. This is the thing that you don't know what it is, but you know that it's there and that you are sure to meet it. And that is the moment when the God inside you comes out. It is like saying that the whole realizes what is in itself here. It's allowing life to unfold. Here the flow after that, the flow as we understand it, has started for it. What we call time is the infinity between B and E. The flow still continues. What I convey here is like finding a water well. Someone who tries to dig a water well can discover the secrets of this realm. When the flow, which we call creation, begins, the revealer becomes the one who accepts to be revealed and who meets. Although each dimension has a ruler, it is one. In order for our dimension, our world to be understood, the creation of its tutor, its conveyor, or the initiator of the flow needs to be noticed. Only if it allows, it is possible to pass through that portal, that dimension to others. the rest is nothing but an illusion. Accepting to come to be for the rhythm of this dimension, the master of the system of this dimension is also related to a rhythm. We can say that there is a hierarchy all the way to the high heavens. In order to move from this dimension to other dimensions, we must have completed this dimension and be tuned into the rhythm of God. Those who cannot tune into the rhythm with its rhythm become like blood leaking out of the body, coagulating and turning into a scab. They stay and are riveted to the spot. We may ask if there are beings that can travel between dimensions. For interdimensional travel, the connection here must be completed. When we see the brain as some kind of spacecraft, when the world experience is not complete, the diversity begins to govern the human and the flow of information in the brain. If we ask how to get there, we can say, you have a land vehicle, but it cannot help to reach your destination at sea. In other words, without some acquired qualities, it is not possible to transfer information even if there are images. One can only barely manage to get away from the events in the world. If we can move from shape and form to reach the state of listening to frequency, we can hear the rhythm within, and then we can meet the rhythm of this dimension. Here the transfer of knowledge to us can begin. For those who couldn't finish up with this dimension, moving to the next is useless. Since we are not programmed for this, it cannot be easy for us to understand, because we have been given a program called curiosity so that we can use our brains. This was made in order to keep our brain alive for such an activity as to try to activate that area through some kind of electrification provided by the communication system between neurons, because it is like a tool. Whatever it is that we do, it is like providing a kind of information flow with electrical currents. In fact, the more we stray from knowledge, the more we can connect. But this should not be perceived as ignorance. If the brain becomes unused, then there will be a transition to the area that is conveyed as that of dark beings told through some stories. That area actually contains many possibilities due to inactivity. The system, which slows down for these possibilities to emerge, waits to retake form when those possibilities arise so as to meet the light and be able to be shaped while coming to be. It doesn't mean that these should not happen. It is just a waste of time. Time is very important in our dimension. Especially on the planet we live, time is first priority. The reason why these energies descending and moving towards darkness are defined as dangerous or undesirable is related to the fact that the movement slows down and the communication of neurons among themselves becomes difficult. Because if we move away from the moment of communication, we slow down and stagnation begins. The need for energy transfer emerges for everything to be restarted and get into the flow again. Then the negative starts to move towards those who are active and those who use a very high level of movement. Because their need is to feed on movement, they need energy. They push themselves for this in order to reconnect. Now, what we want to state here is that in the state that we define as calm, when we hear everything, feel everything, and hear the rhythm within it, we feel and hear, in our words, the heartbeat of God. In fact, the reason for these conveyances is the preparation to transition into different dimensions. Being alert is sometimes not for the insider. When we spend too much visual energy, we may not be able to hear the rhythm, so close your eyes every now and then. Closing the eyes does not mean just disconnecting from light stimulus. The sense of sight is not related to light, but the light is what reveals shape and form. Revealed shape and form can distract us. But the rhythm is always there. Closing our eyes occasionally helps us move from form to rhythm, because there is no conveyance through words in advanced dimensions. The conveyance happens only when we receive the frequency and the rhythm. There is no question here, no curiosity, but a contribution to the rhythm. It is not enough to just understand. It is better to meet than to understand. If you want to hear, think and feel as if your body is a big ear. You will be more comfortable. What you know can anchor you in this dimension. Put what you know aside, try, or choose to take in the new by renewing yourself. The pen of destiny is your tongue, its effect in your voice. Build yourself a new destiny, a new future.